live and active. Hello, hello. Welcome back to our live stream on SuperEx. To start off our live stream, let's do a bit of a recap on what today's crypto update is. So Bitcoin is continuing to hold relatively steady after bouncing back from recent weakness. Remember, it went down. So with investors watching whether it can maintain momentum following renewed inflows into spot Bitcoin ETFs. So analysts say recent cooler US inflation data has improved expectations that the Federal Reserve could become more supportive of risk assets, including crypto. All right. On the institutional side, traditional finance continues moving further into crypto. Morgan Stanley's E-Trade has officially rolled out crypto trading, allowing customers to trade major cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. It's another sign that large financials remain a major force. US regulators are working towards releasing new stablecoin rules under the Genius Act, which could provide greater clarity for the industry and help shape how stablecoins are used within the financial system going forward. So overall, the market is balancing and improving institutional adoption with ongoing regulatory developments, making both ETF flows and policy announcements key stories to watch over the coming weeks. All right, so that's what's happening right now. But yeah, if you guys are just tuning in at the moment, on here on SuperEx, we're going to do some crypto trading, or at least have a bit of a how-to tutorial to get into it. So if you just listen to that introduction and be like, okay, that's what's happening right now in cryptocurrency, but could you maybe tell me what crypto is in simple terms? All right. So cryptocurrency is digital money that exists online. It isn't controlled by a bank or government. Instead, it runs on blockchain technology, which securely records transactions in a transparent way. So some common examples are Bitcoin, Ethereum USDT. Bitcoin is often seen as like digital gold. Ethereum powers applications, and USDT is a stable coin that stays close to the $1. So something that we can do on SuperEx is you can first deposit crypto into your account. Cool. Second, buy and sell crypto using spot trading. That's what we're going to play with a little bit today. Third, trade price movements using futures where you can use leverage. Also going to play with that. And most importantly, you can withdraw your funds as well. SuperEx is a really straightforward platform. I am able to use it with 2 months knowledge, but at the point of fresh off the boat kind of vibe, I was able to use it like within a week of learning what crypto was and how to use it. So here is the platform. I'm just sending it in the chat right now. My fur baby is definitely having a conversation with himself. He's just saying, hi guys, come join the live stream and support my mama. Ain't that right, kid? Yeah, that's what he's trying to say. Okay, dokie. So today what I was thinking we would play with is a bit of an introduction on spot trading and futures. That could be informative. And then tomorrow we can do a bit of a recap over spot and futures and then go into copy trading. How does that sound to you all? Hopefully good. Hopefully good. Let's see what page I'm on right now. Oh, I'm actually on futures right now. Let's move back over to spot. Let's get into it. Okay. Sorry, you guys know that I live right next to the train track, so every so often you might hear a train passing by. Oh my gosh. I know some people are not big like water drinkers. I'm the complete opposite. I think water is the most reviving thing. My mom has actually told me she thinks water is boring, and I'm like, how is water boring? Water is like the best thing ever. This is my first sip this morning of water. I've brushed my teeth and everything, but this is my first sip and I feel so powerful. Okay. All right, one more sip. I need another power sip. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Yeah, I don't know why anyone needs anything but water. Especially no offense. No offense to the people who are drinking the sugary drinks. They make me go crazy. So I am not a caffeinated human. I have a lot of energy naturally in my body. And the idea of caffeine plus my natural energy would make me go insane. So I've had sips of coffee to see if I like the taste of coffee. I don't like the taste of coffee. I love the smell of it. I think it's beautiful. So as a child, like I'd always be like, Mom, let me have a try of your coffee. Let's try this. And I was like, oh, didn't like that. Tea I can like, but I try to stick with herbal tea. Sorry for the slight detour before we get into spot trading. But the other day, my friend gave me, she bought a Starbucks order. She got a mocha, no, not a mocha. She got a matcha almond drink, not a latte. There was no coffee in it. Like there was no coffee in it. And at first she was like, hey, it was a buy one, get one free deal. I've got a spare one. Would you like one? I'm like, oh, I'm lactose intolerant. She's like, no. It's almond or whatever it was. It was like no dairy in it. And I was like, cool, of course I can drink that. And it looks green and fun. It looks like maybe a happy little drink to have in the morning. I have maybe 5 sips of it, like not even a quarter of the drink. Okay. So like, here's a Starbucks drink. I maybe had just like the top. And within 15 minutes, my heart starts racing profusely. I have a headache. I think I'm going to throw up. I am in a bad place. And I've not made the connection that it's from the drink. I think, oh my gosh, maybe my time of the month is coming. Maybe I'm just getting a little bit sick. And I'm at work. This is at work, and I need to be able to get my stuff done. And people are looking at me and be like, are you okay? Are you being dramatic? What's happening? And I'm like, I just don't know. And I was like, maybe I should have more of my drink to see if it helps. And they're like, are you drinking matcha? And I'm like, yeah. And my friends know I don't drink caffeine. And my other friend who gave it to me had just forgotten about this. And they're like, that's got caffeine in it. And that's probably what's happening. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no wonder. So honestly, my heart, within 15 minutes, my heart was going haywire. It was crazy. It was really, really stressful. And that's how I learned that, yes, maybe I don't like the taste of coffee and caffeine, but it does not suit my body. I have no tolerance built over the years. Like, I am turning 33 in a week, and my body is not used to caffeine. Probably the most caffeine it gets is through chocolate. I've been told there is caffeine in chocolate. And at most, maybe a black tea, but I honestly don't have black tea at all. I just stick to herbal if I do drink tea. So yeah, it's just, when anyone tells me that I should have a cup of coffee when I'm feeling tired, I'm like, no, I do not. I do not want to. Sorry for the slight detour. One more sip of my power water. Okay. So what we see here on the screen is our SuperEx spot trading screen. All right, I know it might look busy at first, but actually it's pretty simple, and that comes from me, who I'm a pretty simple human being when it comes to this kind of stuff. Not to play the dumb blonde card, but I definitely am not the brightest bunny when it comes to what I thought crypto was a few months ago. Crypto intimidated me so much, and then I took it upon myself to self-teach myself, and now this page is a piece of cake. So I'm just letting you know, from someone who 2 months ago was hyperventilating at the thought of doing this. Yeah, I am so confident in your ability and all of our ability to crush spot trading. Futures is a little bit more to think about, but still doable. So if you guys pay attention today, you'll be able to spot trade in 15 minutes. Just a heads up. Okay, so the first area I want you guys to look at is the pair sector right over here. So right now I have, Bitcoin and USDT loaded, but you can switch to any token in seconds. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Then we have the big chart in the middle. So this is our trading view price chart. That's this big boy right here. It shows you Bitcoin's price action live, and you can switch between 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, 12 hours, 1 day, 1 week. whatever fits your style. I personally like to see the trends of what's happening in a larger scale instead of a smaller one, just so I can kind of see what's happening on a bigger scale. On the right side, we have our order book, this here. This shows you your buy orders in green and sell orders in red in real time. Don't worry about that too much for now. Beginners don't really need to read this, just be aware that it's right there. And then on our far right, this is where the magic happens, the trading panel. This is the only area that we actually have to interact with today. Okay. We're going to look at our trading. I have a mirror. Sorry. I have a mirror on one side of my room, and I saw my cat jump up onto his tree, but I thought he was going to jump up on me. My heart just like had a stressful moment. Okay, so on our trading panel where our magic happens, let's have a look. At the top, we're going to see buy in green, and then if I click on sell, it's going to be red. But today we're buying Bitcoin, so I'm going to keep it on our green buy. Right under it, we'll see 3 order types. We have limit, market, and stop market. I want you to use limit. Why? A market order buys at whatever the price the market is right now. You have no control. A limit order lets you say, I'm only going to buy Bitcoin if it drops to my price. That's kind of how the pros do it. And I like to think that I'm getting close to it. Be patient and disciplined, okay? All right, now, quick little detour. If you want to trade something other than Bitcoin, here's how we switch the pairs. So I'm just going to hover over Bitcoin and USDT. So you can hover over it, I'll click into it. Right now, my computer allows me to just kind of hover over it and it does the thing. Then we're going to look at our search bar here. You can type in any token you want, ET, ETH, SOL, BNB, anything. So SuperEx has thousands of pairs. And then these tabs here let you filter between categories. So we've got spot for crypto, stock for US stocks. Yes, you heard me right. You can trade like Apple and Tesla. Free market is for community listed tokens and so on. Okay. Or you can just click on a popular pair that's up here. So you got ET, USDT, BTC. That's the one that we are currently on is our Bitcoin and USDT. That's the one that I'm going to choose today because I'm most familiar with it. And let's move on. So let's head back to our trading panel all the way on the, making sure my left and rights are correct, on the right-hand side. So Bitcoin is currently sitting at $65,226. But maybe I think it's going to dip a little. So I am going to offer just a little. I'm just going to offer 65,000. Oh, that's way more than 60. That's 600. 65,000, okay? I've clicked the price field and I've typed in 65,000. That's it. So what this means is my order will sit in the order book, and the moment Bitcoin touches 65,000 USDT, my buy fills automatically. Until then, nothing happens. I'm not chasing the market. I'm in control and I'm not chasing the market, which is super important. Okay, next, how much money do we want to commit to this? All right, see the total field at the bottom here? That's how much USDT I'm willing to commit. I am, for this demo, I'm going to put 50 USDT because that's a nice even number. I type that in and just watch what happens. Machine has done the math for me, and the amount filled has automatically calculated how much Bitcoin I'll get. So in this case, I'll get 0.00076 Bitcoin. Don't have to do the math. SuperEx does it for you, which I love. All right, quick little tip just to notice down below, it shows you your available balance. I have 15 USDT, not 50. So actually, I would not be able to process this order, but it's just good to be aware of it. And I would never ask you guys to do full in. I always recommend you guys start small, play with smaller numbers until you actually understand what is happening. Okay, now we go click buy. No, you do not. This is the most important beginners part that beginners like to skip, okay? It's the take profit and stop loss. I'm going to click this right here, and we've got a couple new figures that have opened up. So number one is our TP trigger, which is our take profit. So I'm going to click that there, and I am going to put in, so if I put 65,000, I'm going to put 70,000. 70,000 USDT. So SuperEx pretty much tells me in red, when the price reaches 70,000 USDT, it will trigger a market order and my estimated PNL will be 3.8 USDT. So that means if Bitcoin moves up from 65,000 to 70,000, the platform's going to sell my Bitcoin automatically. I lock in my profit when I'm asleep and when I'm at work, anytime. All right, so that's our take profit. That one's super important because we want to make sure that when it goes up, we're going to get our profit that we want. But then, what if it goes down? Our SL trigger, that's our stop loss. So I'm going to set that one at 60,000. Okay, same logic, but the opposite direction. If Bitcoin crashes to 60,000, crashes from 65,000 to 60,000, the platform sells it immediately. I will lose 3.8 USDT. I don't lose 20, don't lose 50. My downside is capped. So that is also super important. And then SuperEx shows you that when the price reaches 65,000, it will trigger a market order. Read everything that SuperEx comes up with, okay? This is super important because this means that you guys are listening to what the platform is telling you and not just what you think is right, okay? SuperEx is really great for beginners in that sense because they want to make sure that you're understanding what you're actually doing and not just following the motions and the steps that everyone tells you to do, okay? And pretty much that took us like maybe 10 minutes to do. Super straightforward and easy. We love that. The final step, before you click anything, once again, double check your available funds. Mine is still 15 USDT, so I would not be able to process this order, but that's totally fine. Then you get to click that Buy Bitcoin button. After that, your order is live. It's in the order book. You can see it in the Open Orders tab at the bottom. You don't have to sit and watch it. The system handles everything. So remember, if Bitcoin hits 65,000, it buys. If it then hits 70,000, you sell for profit. If it crashes down to 60,000, you sell to cut your losses. 3 scenarios, all automated. We love it. Okay. Honestly, that's how simple it is to do spot trading. And that's why I really love beginners to jump into this because it's a great way to kind of get yourself into crypto trading. But as I said before, start really small. And when I say small, I do mean really small. I want you guys to play with it, see that you understand, see what happens when you lose some, when you make some, and then you'll feel more comfortable with slightly bigger numbers, okay? All right, now I'm going to jump over to our futures page just because it's quite similar. It's got a lot of similarity. Let's just quickly do a quick little jump. That's spot, that's futures. Pretty similar, but with a few new pieces. And let's have a quick look at the couple areas I want you to pay attention to. All right, similar to spot, we've got our pair sector here. We're currently on Bitcoin USDT perpetual. You can switch between ETH, SOL, anything just by clicking here. All right, and then we have this top row. This is our futures specific data. So mark price is what the platform uses to calculate your unrealized P&L and liquidation. Index price is the multi-exchange weighted spot price. Funding countdown, every 8-hour longs pay shorts, or vice versa, depending on the funding rate. You'll see the timer counting down. So we got 24-hour change, high, low, and then turnover. That's all pretty standard stuff, okay? Then on the far right, our trading panel, this is where we're going to be playing with mostly today. That's where we're going to be able to open and close positions. And then we have our order book, live buy and sell orders, quite similar to our spot trading. This is also matters for funding rate skews, but for what we're going to do today and for beginners, glance and ignore. Okay. Before we start anything, we're going to pick our margin mode in the trading panel. So we're going to press the button here. Mine currently says isolated, but I believe the first time you click on it, it actually says cross. I just have mine on isolated because that's what I trade on. All right, so cross margin mode. Let's click on cross margin mode. Cross margin mode is every position you have under this asset shares one single margin balance. If one trade tanks, the system will pull from other position margin to prevent liquidation. This sounds nice, but everything crashes. If everything crashes all at once, you can lose your entire futures wallet and not just one position. Don't like that. Isolated margin mode. So you assign a fixed amount of margin to each position. If the trade goes against you, you only lose that isolated margin. The rest of your wallet will be safe. This one's quite recommended for beginners. Then we have split margin mode. It's similar to isolated, but you transfer a specific amount up front. If margin drops to less than or equal than to 100%, you get liquidated and the trader can lose all the margin in that sub account. Don't like that as much. So once you've decided which one you prefer, click confirm. Honest recommendation for first time users, beginners, for the first few months until you kind of know what you're doing. Isolated. Always isolated. Don't let one bad trade wipe out everything that you have earned. So of course, I'm going to stick to isolated. Okay, next is leverage. Click on the button next to margin mode. Mine currently says 30 times. So the big count up here, you can use the plus and minus to fine tune, or you can drag the slider across here and go all the way from 1 times to 150 times. I just want to make sure that you guys always read the warnings carefully. So selecting a high leverage will increase the risk of forced liquidation. So at 150 times, a 0.66% move against you wipes you out. At 10 times, it takes a 9% move. At 3 times, you can survive a 30% crash. Higher leverage isn't bigger profit. It's smaller margin for the same position size, which means tighter liquidation distance. So after you guys have decided what you want, you click confirm. My recommendations for first timers start at 3 to 5 times. You kind of want to learn the platform and not risk it all on one day. You can increase it later once you have a better understanding of everything, okay? Okay, now we're going to actually set up the order. We are using limit. This one is going to be the same as my spot tutorial. This one lets you pick the exact buy price instead of taking the market. I feel more in control, and we love that. Okay, in the buy price, Bitcoin's currently at, what was it, 65,000, around there, 277.6. Similar to what I did in spot, I think I'm going to bet 65,000. So it's just like a little small dip from the current. So if Bitcoin drops there, my order fills. If it doesn't, nothing happens. We can cancel this anytime. All right, this toggle part is going to be quite important. Cont versus USDT. Cont means how many contracts. So each Bitcoin contract on SuperEx is equal to a specific Bitcoin quantity. USDT means how much USDT you want to commit. Beginners, I always would say just pick USDT because we understand it's the dollar amount and we're familiar with that. So similar to my spot, I'm going to just pop in 50 for the demo sake. That's how much capital I'm willing to commit for this trade. If you look down at your margin, it says 1.66 USDT. That's only $3 and change locked up as collateral because at 30 times leverage, 50 USDT of exposure is 50 divided by 30, which is 1.66 USDT of margin. Yay, that's leverage magic. And we allow SuperEx to do our math. So pretty much small margin, big position, big risk too. Always remember that. Don't be jumping and just throwing in random numbers. Okay, now the part that we always like to forget, but we should never, is our take profit and stop loss. Remember, this is the one thing I want you to take away from this video is never enter a futures trade without these two numbers set. Even a spot trade. Like guys, this is silly stuff to help you prevent big losses, okay? And to make sure you get the number that you want in the end. It's super smart. Okay, so I just ticked the TP and SL little button. And these two new fields have popped up. So our take profit price, I'm going to put you for the same as spot. Let's go 70,000. Okay, and then our stop loss, let's do 60,000 like what we did before. All right, so pretty much I'm buying at 65,000 and saying if Bitcoin pumps up to 70,000, sells automatically and I lock in my gains. Don't need to stare at the chart. Platform does it for me. And same for the opposite direction. If Bitcoin crashes to 60,000, it's going to sell immediately and cap my loss. This is the line between losing some margin and getting completely liquidated. Okay, only after both are set do we click the green open long button or our open short. So open long means you're betting Bitcoin goes up. Open short means you're betting it goes down, okay? Remember this. Once you've decided which one you're going to click, I reckon it's probably going to go down a little bit. So I would click open short. And then let me scroll down so you guys can see our positions down here. So this is our positions and open tabs. So after clicking open long or buy short, these are the two places that you can check. Our open orders tab, which is at the bottom here. If it's a limit order that hasn't been filled yet, it's going to sit here. You can cancel at any time. Positions tab. Once the order fills, so like if Bitcoin touches my 65,000 bid that I put in, the trade moves from open orders to positions. You'll see your entry price, your current P&L in USDT, liquidation price, and a close button. So to close early, you hit the close button. You can do a flash close, which is the market price, which is instant, or a limit close, your chosen exit price. Once closed, the margin is returned to your futures wallet, plus or minus your P&L minus fees. So if your TP or SL triggers automatically, the position does close itself and you'll see it in order history. But yeah, that's pretty much how you're able to do it. We were able to finish that off in 10 minutes. So we were able to do spot trading 10 minutes, future trading 10 minutes. And that's with a demo of me explaining everything. Imagine if you guys are just doing that yourself without me jibber jabbering about stories left, right, and center. You guys would be able to do that easily within a minute, 2 minutes if you guys, for the first time. Once you guys kind of know what numbers you're wanting to have going into it, it's pretty straightforward, and there's not much you can do wrong as long as you always do your take profit and stop loss, okay? That is legit the most important thing you can take away from today's video. So what you did first was you pick your margin mode, isolated for beginners. Then you pick your leverage. Start low 3 to 5 times. I did 30 times today, but I've done it a few times. Number 3, set price and choose USDT amount. Step 4, always set a TP and SL. Guys, that's super, super important. Step 5, open long or short based on what our view is. Step 6, manage position from the positions tab. Guys, I love it. It's super simple. I really hope you guys can, if you have an interest in trading. This is all just like an informative live stream if you guys want to get into it. I personally found myself at a point in my life where I wanted to learn something new, and for ages all the big boys had been trying to tell me about it, and I don't know, I just felt like they were explaining it really like macho like and not actually explaining the whys. They were just saying, oh, do this, do that, and then you get that. And I'm like, okay, but I need, my brain is pretty much, I need to understand why and how, and the repercussions going into it. My brain needs those details to fully allow myself to commit to it, and no one really explained it well. And then I came across SuperEx, and honestly, every step of the way, it has been so, so informative and allowed me to understand what is happening. Like, I am self-taught on SuperEx, and it makes me feel really confident in my abilities going forward, that I kind of enjoy crypto trading. I definitely think it's going to have a big amount of importance in our life in the future. I think a lot of things are trying to go away from physical gains, and they want to have everything digital online, and that is pretty much cryptocurrency. Like, who knows what's going to happen in the future with banks and stuff. So I just thought it was something really important that I wanted to teach myself, and I'm really proud of where I've come in the last 2 months. But yeah, so pretty much what we're going to do tomorrow, because around the same time I'm going to do another live stream. So we did spot trading and futures today, but what I really want to do is do a quick recap over futures tomorrow, and then go into copy trading, because I think that's a really interesting thing to kind of explore, especially for people who want to piggyback off the pros, which I've yet to do, but I think I'm really excited to try it out. But yeah, so if you had any interest in today's live stream, Please smash that like, subscribe button, and then drop a comment below. If you're watching a pre-recorded video, still put a comment down. We do read all the comments. I specifically go through everything because I want to learn from what we're doing in our live streams and give you guys better content for future live streams coming up. All right, if you guys are interested, let me send through the link again for SuperEx. Just click on the link here. Registering is such a simple process. It honestly needs your phone number, email address, two-step authentication. It's smooth sailing from here, honestly. But yeah, okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in.